Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If my voice sounds pretty deep, that's just because I woke up like about an hour ago, cleaned up, organized a little bit, and I figured I would do a chatty get ready with me. So I don't think that I've done any of these kind of videos on my channel like ever, and so many of you guys had requested that I do tutorials like, hey, can you recreate this look, can you please do that look, can you please do tutorials? And so here I am doing my first chatty get ready with me tutorial. I also thought it would be a really great idea to discuss with you guys my trip to Israel. Because I asked you guys on Instagram if you would be interested in me discussing like my adventures in Israel, and a ton of you guys were like, huh, yes please. So I figured the combination of this video would be great. You know, I could talk about Israel and I could do my makeup with you guys as well. So the look that I'm going to be recreating is this look right here. I absolutely love this look. It's definitely probably, I don't know if it's my all-time favorite look of life, but it's definitely up there in like one of the best looks I've ever created. Alright, so I will have everything linked down below in regards to all the products that I'm using because I'm going to be busy discussing my story with you guys. I don't know if I'll remember to say each product. And I also wanted to just mention this Bedallion Tools brush set. So they recently reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to try out some of their brushes. So this is how the brushes look. It comes in this amazing, really nice quality pouch. There are 15 brushes in here, so if you guys are interested in this as well, I'll leave the link down below. But these are basically the main brushes that I'm going to use, and then I just have a few little random brushes on the side here. I also have my Sunshine coffee, and I'm so proud of myself because I used to be like addicted to coffee with milk, so I'm trying to like lean off that a little bit and use almond milk. This is almond cream, I think that's how you say it, and it's actually pretty good, so I'm so happy. So my brows are done and I'm gonna get started with the Touch and Seal No Problem Pore Blem Primer. So the trip lasted for about 10 days. It was technically like 9 days just because, you know, with the traveling and everything, so we kind of lost out on a day. The airplane ride there was 9 hours, which was the longest airplane ride that I had ever been on. And the ride back was 12 hours. I was dying, I'm telling you. It was like the longest 12 hours of my life. Even though I slept and everything, it was pretty long. So basically when we got there, we were so like jet-lagged already. We were so freaking tired, but we didn't go to sleep or anything. We already started the day, and it was about 6-7 a.m. over there. So basically we were ready to start our day, but technically we weren't because we were so damn tired. Anyways, it was good that we didn't go to sleep because then our whole schedule would have been messed up. So the first day the tour guide took us to the park, just a random park, just a place for everyone to get to know each other. We introduced ourselves in case someone didn't know the other person. Then for lunch we pretty much had free time to buy anything for about, I would say, 45 minutes. They have amazing falafel there, and they also do really good like shakes and stuff. So those are the two things that I was pretty much living on, and then bamba and like snack and stuff. So that was good. The first day was kind of a blur. We didn't do too much because, like I said, everyone was just so damn tired, and we were just waiting for like the day to end, you know. We ended up getting our hotel rooms. I shared a hotel room with an Israeli soldier. She was super cool. Her name was Adi. Me, her, and then my sister as well. So that was really nice. I do speak Hebrew, so I was able to communicate with her nicely. Hebrew is my first language, so it was really nice to be able to talk to someone from that country. And she was so happy too. She's like, oh my god, you guys speak Hebrew, whatever. Like, she's like, we don't see this a lot. And I'm like, yeah. That night we had a really fun game. It was called The Wind Blows On. Basically everyone was sitting in a circle and there was one person sitting in the middle. So the person in the middle had to say something like, the wind blows on anyone who's wearing pants. So then everyone who's wearing pants around in the circle has to get up and run around and find a different seat to sit in. But there's always going to be that one person who's not going to have a seat available, you know? And then they have to say, okay, the wind blows on someone who is wearing glasses, or, you know, so on and so forth. And it was so much fun because some people were saying the funniest things ever, and it was just kind of like, I don't know, these people are so funny. We had a really great time that night. So the next day we had to be up at 6:30 a.m. and generally every single day we had to be up at 6:30 a.m. The bus ride left at 8 o'clock. So yeah, we had to make sure to be ready, eat breakfast, and be on our way. I remember the third day we went to the Holocaust Museum that was called Yad Vashem. Now, the Holocaust was a time where so many Jews died and were killed. and it holds a very special place in my heart. A lot of my friends' grandparents were in the Holocaust, in World War II basically. My grandparents were not, because they were living in Israel at that time and the war did not hit there. But it was such an inspirational museum because it just, I don't know, it was so touching to the heart and soul, like for anyone. Like, you didn't have to be Jewish to feel like the connection. We had another tour guide that was showing us around in the actual Yad Vashem museum. You saw like the shoes of everyone, how they used to live, how they died, the children who passed away, and it just like, seriously, it's just like, it was mind-blowing. And I remember the tour guide was saying a whole bunch of stuff, but there was one thing that stood out to me the most, and I don't know why, but it just felt really like, it resonated with me, you know? So he said that when the war broke out, the Jews wanted to like leave Poland. They wanted to get out. They wanted to, you know, survive. And they were trying to go to different places. They tried to go to America, and America did not let them in. And I'm like, what? So the only two places that let them in were Switzerland, which I was like, damn, and Dominican Republic. So I'm like, that's like the coolest thing ever. Like, I don't know, like now I want to go to Dominican Republic, you know what I'm saying? And like spend money there and give money to the land and stuff, because it was just nice, you know? So anyway, that museum was extremely touching, and the tour guide who was showing us around in the museum looked exactly like my father. Whew. And I'm telling you, it just, me and my sister were like about to cry there, because he was acting like him. He looked like him a little bit. He was the same like height and size as him. And my father passed away, so I don't know, I felt the connection. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt really nice. So that was definitely an experience that I'm going to remember, and it was just so beautiful. Like, literally going to Israel was just worth it for that. Okay, so I have to look at my Instagram pictures, because honestly I totally forgot like what we did in order to the most part, because everything was such a blur. We woke up every day at like 6:30. I didn't know where my eyes were. Okay, then we also went ATVing, which I thought was super cool. I've done it in the past, but this time it was like in a bigger ATV. Like, there was 2 people sitting in the front and then 2 or 3 people sitting in the back, and we did it on like this rocky mountain. Like, literally you make a wrong move, you are flying off the mountain and you are dying. So everyone had a turn to drive, and some people were like, no, I am not driving. But I was like, okay, let me drive. I'm like, I'm already here. Let me like make the best out of it, you know? So I was driving, and I'm telling you, my ass was like on pins and needles the whole time. I was so nervous and scared. Bumpy roads from here to who knows where, and I just felt so uncomfortable for like 10 minutes, because I wasn't just allowed to stop and, you know, switch seats with someone else, because the tour guide was guiding us and you couldn't just get up and do whatever you want, you know? Then one of the people that were sitting next to me, he's like, yo, own it, you got this. And then I'm like, you know what, hell yeah, I do got this, you know? Calm down, relax, you got it. So I calmed down, I relaxed, and I was like, yo, Liora, you got this, you got this. Even though I did not, I was like, you got this. So we ended up driving, and then before I knew it, it was pretty much over, like my turn. And I was like, you know, this is like with everything in life. Like, sometimes you are scared to do something and then you do it and you're like, really? Like, that was so easy, you know? Sometimes that's not always the case, but many times it is. And it's like, I don't know, it taught me a lesson to just relax and take things easy. If I'm doing it already, do it calmly and do it like with a head up high, you know? Towards like the end of the ATVing, there was a little like minivan type of car that took about 6 people in the back if they don't want to do the ATV anymore. So me and a few people went into that like van, and we had such a fun time in the back. Like, not in that kind of way, like we were singing and we were having a blast. And that's when I started feeling the vibe of Israel. Like, that's when I was like, hell yeah, like I can do this for longer than like 10 days, you know? That night we went to the hotel, we had dinner, we played a game that night, and then the next morning, once again, 6:30. The next day was rappelling. So rappelling is basically when you take a rope and you go down like a mountain just holding on to the rope. And I didn't really know what the hell it was initially, because I'm just kind of like, what the hell is that? But then when we got there, I was like, oh my god. So everyone was getting like their harnesses ready, and so was I. And then when I said what we actually had to do, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I was like, no. So a whole bunch of people kept going down, and the guide that was instructing the whole thing told everyone like what they had to do, holding onto the rope, move this way, move that way. And I was just watching the whole time, because in my head I'm like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I am not doing this, like over and over and over again. And then as people kept going down, it became emptier and emptier, and there were like 2 or 3 people left, and I was like, should I go, should I not? They're like, okay, well, come on, like we're closing up, who else wants to do this? And I was like, oh, all right, I'll do it. My sister backed out completely. So then I was like, you know what, you got this, come on, let's do it. What's the worst that can happen? I asked the guy if anyone died. He's like, no. I'm like, all right, let's go. The instructor looked really good. I'm not gonna lie, he looked amazing. That wasn't the reason why I went, but like he looked really good, so yeah. Anyways, so he tied the rope and everything. He explained to me like what I needed to do. I held onto the rope and I started going down. Initially when I was going down, it was a bit tough because I was like, where do I put my feet, you know? But as I kept going down, I was like, what the hell is this? This is so easy. Like, I wasn't trying to be like full of myself or anything, but it was so simple. The first initial step was like, whoa, but then I was like, this is actually not that bad. So as I was going down, the instructor had to like look after me, obviously holding onto the rope and everything to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly, you know? So his name was Aviv, and he told me in Hebrew, he's like, Liora, you were the only one that went down without any like questions, without asking something 40 times. You listened, you got it, you went down. And I was like, that's the best compliment ever. So that really kind of like made my day. And then I went down. He said going down could take about 2 to 20 minutes. I think I went down in like 5 minutes, even less, 4 minutes. Like as I was going down, I'm like, okay, let's go. And it was a lot of fun. I got down and I was kind of like, first of all, I was very proud of myself. I was like, yes. And then I was talking to myself and telling myself, like, sometimes with certain things like this where you feel like you're gonna die or you feel like something is so tough and hard, try it, you know? Like, why not? What's the worst that can happen? I probably could have hurt myself, which would not have been the end of the world, but like, it was such an experience. And I was like, I would have been so upset at myself if I would not have gone down. So I was one of the last ones who was going down, and then Aviv, the instructor, had to go down as well, because once you actually get down to like the area where everyone was at after the rappelling part, you had to go hiking for about 25 minutes to get to the bus areas. So that was the only way out of there. So he had to come down and show everyone the way. So as he was going down, he was like, does anyone want to come with me? I can hold someone and go down. And my sister was available. She was like, yo, me. She was like, that was the best like 5 minutes of my life. Like, she was holding on to him and everything. So she came down as well, but not in the way that everyone else came down. Honestly, the hike back would not have been the same without her. Like, it would just bomb, you know? So we ended up taking some pictures, and then the hike started back. So the hike was so moving, stunning, oh my god. Like, but you had to be really careful, because if you make a wrong move or you step on a certain rock, you can just fall off the whole cliff, which is like, I don't know, over 300 feet. We had asked him if anyone fell off while hiking, and he's like, yeah, one person did. I was like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, he was taking a picture and he fell off. I'm like, that's not worth the picture. You know, there are things that I'll do for a good picture, but not that. The hike was amazing. Like I said, so nice. Definitely worth the whole rappelling experience, because the hike was another experience on its own. Like the rocks, going up, going down, almost falling, picking yourself up, sweating from your ass, just having a good time with everyone, laughing and just forgetting about the world and taking what you have in, you know? It was just so nice, an experience that I will never forget. All right, after that we went paintballing. Now, I'm not someone who's into these kind of things. I hate guns, I hate shooting, I don't like to get hurt in that kind of way. I'm just not about that kind of life. So we had to put on this whole entire suit, put a mask on as well in case the like paintball would hit your face. And it's basically like a little bowl that has paint in it, and then once it gets like shot into you, it like explodes and it leaves a teeny mark on your actual skin, like it's a black and blue mark. So we put on the whole outfit and everything. We get out into the field. We hide between like certain things. It's like a war type of scene. After 3 minutes, I'm like, screw this, I'm out of here. This is not my vibe at all. I just wanted to like feel it for like a moment or two, and then when I felt like this is not for me, I just left the scene. I was like, yo, get me out of here. So, and the guy opened up like the gate and everything, and then I was the one who was actually talking on the mic, telling everyone, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. So that was my job, because he's like, here, speak to them, because the instructor for that paintballing barely knew any English. So I was conducting the whole scene, and it felt so good to have everyone listen to me there. Anyway, so that was okay. It was an experience as well. It was something different, something that I'm not used to, but a lot of the guys enjoyed it a ton. But again, just not my style of thing to do, but it was fun, you know? Let me just zoom you guys in a teensy bit. Okay, so now I want to go in with the Colourpop and Kathleen Dream Street palette. I love this so much. The first shade that I'm going to go in with is this one. It's like a nice peachy matte color, but I'm going to set my lids first with the Liora.y Loose Translucent Setting Powder. That's typically what I like to do. Anyways, the next thing that we did was we went to the Western Wall, which was very inspirational for me as well. It's something that I learned about pretty much my entire life, like in school, because like I went to Hebrew school and everything. So when I got there, I was kind of underwhelmed because I thought that the wall would be bigger than it really was, but it was still really beautiful because just knowing the whole history behind it, I was like, hell yeah, you know? I had to be very respectful. You had to dress up pretty modest over there because if not, like they're just not about that kind of life, you know? So I did did dress up modest. You had to basically. My sister and I saw an Israeli flag there, so we took a picture with it too, and with the Western Wall in the background, and it just felt like literally a postcard. Like I felt like I was in a postcard scene, you know? We didn't stay there for too long because it was a Friday, but oh, to get to the Western Wall, there are a few ways to get there, but we went through this tunnel, which was so cool because it was so like narrow, and we had to kind of like squeeze through in a way, not really, but like kind of, and it was just such a cool experience. Like we had to go deep down, up, down. It was like water and everything. It was fun. Like those kind of things I really enjoy. Sometimes it's not actually getting to the place, it's like the adventure you have getting there, like, you know, like the ups and downs and everything. I don't know, it was just so nice. So then with this shade, I basically just put it in my crease exactly where I put this peach shade. And then the next and final shade we're gonna go in with is this brown one. In my review, I said that this was not as pigmented and it was a bit harder to work with, but once you put it on and you blend it out and give it some time, it looks stunning. So then this I'm also going to put in the crease, but a bit lower than the other shades that I put, and then round it off by the outer V area. All right, then moving on to the next place we went to Bedouin Tents, which was basically a huge ass tent that was outside. And we slept in there, like about 30 people in one big ass tent, but it wasn't like a regular tent where there's no heat or anything. There was heat and we had pretty comfortable mattresses, like it was nice. But it was such a cool experience because, you know, the bathroom was like a few feet away. We had to get up and go there and everything, but like we were living out of our suitcase, and it was just fun to know we don't know what the next step is actually, you know, like where we're going or what we're doing. So we were actually supposed to have a bonfire, but it randomly started raining, so we were not able to have a bonfire. So all of us were pretty much dead because we were so freaking tired, but we still wanted to stay up. And so someone had a deck of cards. We had actually 2 decks of cards, so like 2 people were playing cards and like 10 people were surrounding them. It was such a chilled vibe, and there was no service. Like the service was shit over there, so it was cool to know that you can spend time with people and not actually have to be on your phone. You had to kind of what is it called, socialize. And I liked it. It was really nice. For one day, like nothing happened to anyone. I actually slept really good that night, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was deadly tired, so I would have slept honestly on the floor on rocks. But then the next morning we woke up, there were dogs all over. Like it was so cool. Like there are dogs just randomly there. Like, you know how like there are stray cats? There are stray dogs there. And my sister was like loving each and every single one of them. Like I love dogs and I think that they're freaking adorable beyond words, but I'm not gonna touch every single dog. Like I'm a little bit scared-ish. In the beginning with my sister's dogs, I was scared. Like I came into the house tiptoeing and everything. Like I'm like, hello. But then as time went on, both of her kids are basically my children. I am their godmom. But anyways, back to the story. There were a bunch of like stray dogs. They're super cute. We were feeding them, just adorable. And then my sister was like, why can't we have stray dogs in New York where we live, you know? Like I wish. So that's pretty much it for the eye look. I actually didn't put anything on the lids, but you guys will see what I'll do with my eyeliner and then with the lashes. But it's fairly simple. You just have to put 1, 2, 3 shades pretty much on in the actual crease and blend it out in the outer V area, and it looks like you already have something on your lids, you know? So I really like it because it's an all matte look, but it's kind of simple at the same time, and you don't have to really work hard. You just have to like blend, you know? So now that I pretty much finished my eyes, like the crease and everything, I'm gonna do my lower lash line. I'm gonna again do the 3 main shades and build that up. And then what I'm going to do is take this angled brush, which I've been doing so much, by the way. I've just been taking a regular pencil liner and then coating the brush with it. This makes lining my upper lash line so easy. Like this takes a little bit of time just putting it on the brush, like coating it, but it's so worth it, like I'm telling you. Okay, that's pretty much it for the upper lash line. Then I'm gonna go in with mascara. This has been one of my favorites. This is the Shock Mascara by YSL. God, this makes your lashes longer than life and pretty full, I will say. So let's move on to the next thing we did. Okay, the next thing that we did was we went what is it called, sandboarding. So it's pretty much the same thing as snowboarding but on sand. And let me tell you, like, it's fun and everything, but you get sand everywhere, like everywhere. And I mean, it's fun, but you have to wash yourself off like immediately after, otherwise you feel like you just have pieces everywhere. Like, I went down the hill like once or twice, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready to chill now. But everyone else on the group was really having a good time with it, so it was fun. I never went snowboarding, so it was definitely an experience for me. And that was like, I think the last activity we did before we left. Like, that was the day before we actually left, so it was like a nice ending to our whole like vacation. Also, it was so interesting because during the sandboarding, the guy who was instructing the whole sandboarding and everything, I don't know if he lived there or what, or maybe that's just where his station is, but there's no bathrooms there. So basically, what my sister and I had to do, we had to basically pee outside. And that wasn't my first time that I did that. I mean, whatever, I mean, I had to pee, so I had to pee, but basically we were trying to cover each other. We walked like, I would say 30 feet down in the desert, like where the sandboarding was, but nobody was there, so we quickly, you know, did our business, peed, and then we saw these little ant colonies, and I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. Like, they were making themselves like a little house, so they were going into the sand, making these little bowls and then piling them up somewhere, every single one doing the same damn thing, and it was just so cool. I'm like, how do you know? So that's pretty much it for the eyes. Now you can definitely leave it like this if you don't typically wear lashes, and it still looks pretty, I would say, dramatic-ish, but I'm gonna go in with the lashes anyways because that was the look that I made. So I wanted to show you guys how it looks with the lashes. The lashes that I'm gonna wear are the Platinum Princess lashes by Vegas Nay and Liora. And then I'm gonna use my well-loved Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive that I always talk about. I'm just gonna coat these lashes. These are stunning, by the way, and they're really easy to apply. So after we checked out that ant colony, we headed back on the bus. We went to this really cool little like supermarket where they had a ton of food, like chocolate, candy, cookies, cakes, like anything and everything, like goodness, like, oh my god, it was so good. So I pretty much had an ice cream for myself, and I ate chocolates and stuff, but I try to like calm down because I can finish like 10 cases of chocolate in like a minute. But yeah, that was really nice. We bought a whole bunch of different snacks for the bus ride. Again, we went back to the hotel, and then we had one night where we were pretty much just chilling. And okay, so let me tell you guys, the water in Israel, I don't know if that's in every single like country outside of the US or what. The water in Israel makes you fly to the bathroom. So when we were hiking and doing everything, like, they kept telling us, make sure you keep yourself hydrated because, you know, if you're dehydrated, you can faint, you can end up being in the hospital, and no one really wanted to be in that situation. So everyone constantly was drinking. And let me tell you how much times we all had to go to the bathroom. Like, first of all, to pee. Like, every, like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes we had to stop to go to pee. And then number two was a story of its own, let me tell you. It was funny, but it was also kind of like, what's going on here? So I actually asked the tour guide, I'm like, what's up with the water? So he did say that there are different minerals in the water, so that's why your body's probably not used to it, and that's why it's reacting in that kind of way. So I'm like, good. At first I kind of thought that maybe it was just me, but then I was like, no. Everyone is dealing with this. So that was pretty funny. Oh, I forgot one thing. So we had one night to go to like this club thing, and I realized I'm just not a club girl. I used to be able to drink. Hell no. So we went to this like club. It was really nice. The music was on point in the beginning at least, and then it was not my style. I'm like, what the hell is this? So my sister ordered herself mixed drinks, and usually we do shots because it's like, you know, we want to just feel the vibe. We don't want to like deal with the nasty drinking. I hate alcohol. So she ordered mixed drinks. She told me to drink, so I took a sip and I'm like, ooh, spit it out on the floor, like outside. And I was like, no, because last year I had such a bad experience, and I haven't drank in pretty much a year. I'm not saying I'm not gonna drink ever, but I'm just kind of like, no, I cannot taste alcohol. You know what I'm saying? It's just nasty. So she took about 3 mixed drinks, and I was just sitting on the side there like, you know, like trying to listen to the vibe. And then I just got up and started dancing, and like I was like, okay, this is just, I'm not feeling it, you know. So then one of my friends that I actually met on the trip, he's like, yo, you gotta loosen up, you gotta get into it. And I'm just like, no. So then he's like, go get a drink, go get a shot. So he sent his friend to get me a shot basically. So me and his friend were walking there to get a shot. So then as he was ordering a shot for me, I was looking at a girl that I knew, and she was drunk AF. Like she was like not knowing what is up. And when I looked at her, I'm like, no, I don't give a shit. I'm not going under pure pressure. I'm not dealing with this. And then I was like, no, yo, it's fine. I don't need a shot. I'm good. So then I go back to the original guy, like my friend, and he's like, yo, did you drink? And I was like, yeah, high five. And I was like, Maya, I didn't drink anything. I'm not drinking anything. And then it was actually really good that I didn't drink because my sister threw up. And I was like, that's what happens when you drink and you like jump, it goes everywhere. So she threw up and she was like, yo, let's go. So we ended up leaving with a few friends. She actually started feeling a bit better because she started drinking fluids and everything. But yeah, I was just happy. Like once I saw her, I'm like, yo, I'm so happy that I just didn't take that shot, because that shot would have messed me up. Like I would have just not been here, you know? All right, so I went ahead and put on my lashes. It is pretty dramatic, but I love them. They're so comfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and use my highlighter now. This is the Chatty London highlighter in Starburst. So many of you guys were like, yo, what highlighter are you wearing in that like video and picture? It's this one. So I'm going to use this Delium Tools in number 960. Anyways, you guys can see it picks up a nice amount there, but I'm gonna spray it as well just to intensify the teensy bit. And this is the Saturday Skin mist. I love that. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Yum. The flight back was, like I said, 12 hours. I was dying on the plane. But yeah, I got up during the flight because, I mean, for 12 hours, who the hell could sit down for 12 hours? But I got up. I was chilling a little bit, and then I guess before I knew it, the plane landed. But it was definitely a really long flight. When I came home, what did I do when I came home? Oh yeah, I came home and I went to my mother and I dropped off my clothes over there. My sister had to like organize all like the suitcases because we combined everything, like we shared clothes pretty much. So my stuff was with hers and hers was with mine, so she just took everything and then what is it called, organize my stuff. I ended up coming home, and what did I do? I think I went to sleep. It was like 8 o'clock or something, or 9 o'clock, and I was out. The next day, which was Thursday, I woke up, everything was chilled, cool. 11 a.m. I fell asleep till 7 p.m. I'm telling you, I was so jet lagged, like there were no words. I think that's pretty much it for this eye look, by the way. After I put everything on, I like to blend it out. I kind of want to go in with a little bit more, I know you guys are gonna think I'm gonna say highlighter, but blush. I love blush. I think it looks so good on. I'm gonna use this little brush here to pack it on. Next, I'm gonna go in with this lip product, which is gonna be in my favorites video. I'm telling you guys, damn, I want every single shade. This is the Colourpop lipsticks by L'Oreal in the shade 902 Dazzling Dome. So pretty. Anyway, so yeah, I had a really great time. Definitely an experience. Going away for 10 days, no matter where you are, is an experience. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, kind of like talk through Chatty Get Ready with me. And I hope you guys enjoyed my Israel story and experience. Definitely let me know if you guys have any questions down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Oh my god, we're boarding.
Everything's sitting in the middle. In the middle. There's no window to breathe. There's no window.
This is your blanket.
Sasha!
Weirdo. You're so cute.
Going in the range at the back, okay? So that means no bypassing, right? We're just all going a straight line slowly.
They're so cute. What? Ari! I know.
Yeah, what do you call that?
Yeah, totally. We should, right? I heard it's amazing.
You should maybe honestly something.
Oh my god. Guys, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. Yeah, I'm telling you,
Not
Matt.
coming down, this part.
What do you mean? You like this?
I
I love this.
Me too.
Please, I don't need water.
Yeah. Nah, dehydrated. I barely drink water in my life.
Alright.
This is how good.
I'll show you guys. Like, what are we climbing on? Look, feet are here, dying there, people here. Thank you. Cutest man ever. So cute. What is this? Oh my god. That's my sister. I'll and ask her how the guy says good morning to everyone we have. Just say it. Fast, there's no time.
So nasty. I feel so like I'm so disgusted.
Whoa, you guys. Nah, this video is you. Whoa. Me too. It is narrow, man.
Watch the ceiling. Like, did they
Yeah.
in the dark?
That's what you drink. You don't drink that.
Oh, it's
You're not mad at me, right?
no, Esther, we're good. We're good. Who could ever be mad at you? You know what I'm saying? The nicest person. Cold here, so I experienced it. Oh my god, yo. I'm צריכים עוד דברים האלה.
Taking your phone with you?
I don't know, you can pictures of me?
That's all big.
So I brought my blankie and I'm really excited. It's kind of like outdoorsy, but like it's cold a little bit there. This is my bed. My baby cozy blankie, glasses, and gum. There, you see? Put it down. Go back inside and take more. Look at him. He's gonna take it. All dry. Look how small he took. He's trying to help. Look, he's bringing out a big one. You see the big one? Yeah. He brought it a lot.
Why are you being
Look,
little?
let them. Oh, he just popped into the move.